Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Suresh Dhawan Talks. If you enjoyed the previous episode, by the way, it's already out. Go check it out. It's on stress management in the workplace. So, some of the questions on that episode dealt with relationships, and very briefly. But according to Suresh, apparently the largest causes of stress in the workplace is actually relationships. So we thought it would be a spin-off to do an entire episode based on relationship questions most Googled last year. So Suresh fancies himself as a love guru now, so not just a corporate trainer.
I did not say that, but anyway.
So here we're going to hit him with some questions and let's hear what's his input. He's a man who's been married forever and very experienced in the world of dating and love.
No.
So let's go. So Suresh, welcome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do a few opening questions first, okay? Let's get you warmed up.
Yes.
Are relationships becoming harder or are expectations becoming unrealistic?
Okay, so relationships are people, right? So if you would ask me, I would say perhaps expectations can be an issue, but it's not so much of expectations. I think communication has become an issue.
Okay.
Because now relationships are very different from those days. Those days, we had more FaceTime. Those days, we had letters, we had snail mail, we had that going out and not really being distracted by devices, right? Those days, normally you would be together in the same location, same place. Nowadays, you also have a lot of long-distance relationships. So the dynamics have changed, communication has changed. And as a result, sometimes distance also causes issues, Also, expectations, of course, that is from time immemorial. There's no difference
But
there.
it must have been getting harder now, right? With all the rom-com movies, it must be getting tougher now. Women expect way more from men, or men expect women to be a certain way.
So values have changed, right? So what women expect today, I think women from those days expect a man who is strong, a person who can lead, a person who is able to provide, protect, all that stuff. But the woman of today is a bit more independent. Not a bit more, actually, maybe much more independent.
Yeah, they are
much more independent. They speak up. They are strong. So that can pose as a threat to some of these insecure men. So that can be an issue as well. So a woman looking for a strong man also needs to understand, if he's a strong man, then you're going to get a bit of pushback. So if you want the guy to just follow you also, it can be a problem. So expectations, yes, it can be a challenge.
So are you saying women are fickle? They don't know what they want. They want a strong man, but they want a sweet guy.
Both are fickle. Both.
Really?
So
Men too?
yeah, of course. See, so my ex-boss used to say
offended.
this. My boss used to say this, very interesting, my ex-boss. He said, Suresh, so it's for both, male and female, okay? He says, a lot of women go out there looking for Mr. Right when they are Miss Wrong. And a lot of men go out looking for Miss Right when they are Mr. Wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so expectations are mounting. Women nowadays are getting married at an older age.
Okay.
Because they also want stability. And they are also looking for a man who has vision. A lot of young people I meet, okay? So because I meet a lot of people, right? A lot of young ladies when I meet and I ask them, so are you in a relationship, getting married soon? Difficult to get a guy, Suresh. I say, why? Why is it difficult to get a guy? The guys we meet are too playful. They are just going with the flow. They are chill, they are hanging around their gang all the time. I don't hear a guy talking about, future vision, talking about family values, talking about a goal, talking about serious stuff. So they end up, if they do get married, it's later in life, or they get married to a guy maybe who is maybe 4 or 5 years their senior. That's what I say.
So based on what you said, coaches and corporate trainers are the most eligible men.
Yes, of
because
course.
you guys always talk about vision.
Correct. Yeah, but a lot of us are married now.
Yeah. I like that addition there.
Yes.
Perfect. We get what you mean. Okay.
Okay, very good.
Okay. So again, you mentioned just now briefly, you talked about communication.
Yes.
So why is it today, besides maybe time and workload and all that, why do people struggle to communicate effectively in modern relationships?
I mean, okay, so whether it's modern or not, for me, even for those days, the challenge is accepting other people's points of view, or being able to let go of a minor argument for the sake of the relationship. That for me has changed. Ego has changed over time for both male and female, right? Those days you had a lot of this. I'm the man. You listen to me. But even men have evolved. Men are not like that anymore. Of course, there'll be some of them who are still like that. Yeah, but men also expect the woman to be able to support also when they need the support. women, in my point of view, also need a man who is able to take some of the load off them, because women still have to manage the office, they have to manage their house. If you're married and you're living with your in-laws, manage the in-laws, and you have to then manage the kids. So it's still a huge toll on the woman compared to the man. So the expectations, balance of work, balance of roles, balance of responsibilities, that becomes the issue. If you look at Malaysia, our three major ethnicities, right? You got the Malay, Chinese, Indian. All three major, or maybe something which is across the board for reason for divorce, is finances.
Okay.
Right? All three will have that issue. Also, out of all three, the Malays end up with more divorces. Of course, number one is there are more people Malays, yeah. But the causes are a little bit different from the Chinese and the Indian. Out of the three, the least are Chinese. All right, the Indians are in between, right? Now, the reason for some of the Malay people who end up in divorce, one is early marriages those days. Yeah, so that's one. Maybe maturity is different. Finances then add another burden there. Also, you have the idea of polygamy. So that becomes an issue because it's allowed, but the women might not agree.
Yeah.
And because of that, maybe affairs. Now, all three also have issues with affairs. Okay, not just the Muslims.
Okay.
Yeah, but so it's one of it. For the Chinese, it can be because of infidelity as well. It can also be because they are either very achievement driven. So they work, the hours are just too much. They don't spend enough time with each other. It's also sometimes business. You're doing business and you're constantly focused there. You might not be present in the other areas of life together with your partner.
Yeah.
The Indians, you have, of course, financial issues, but you also have scenarios like anger issues, substance abuse issues, alcohol, gambling, that kind of stuff, which also then ends up in domestic abuse issues. So as a result of that, this is where divorces take place. So all three will have their own issues, but at the end of the day, if you communicate, you spend the time, talk to each other, communicate, you will be able to work things out. If you don't, then expectations are one, but you must communicate expectations, communicate what you can agree on, cannot agree on, align yourselves. Have to have the tough conversations,
Speaking of which, one of the most searched questions, right, was why doesn't my partner understand me?
The word understand, people look very differently.
Yes.
Why doesn't my partner understand me, or why doesn't my partner listen to me?
No, I understand.
Okay.
I think it would be like, like say for example, I've had this personally. Like sometimes when you're working a lot,
Right.
then your partner goes, why aren't you at home? And then you wonder, why don't you understand me, right?
Okay.
Because I guess at the end of the day, people want attention. It's your normal human craving, whether you're a man or woman. So I guess in that sense, why don't they understand the needs or the situation or
No, okay. So my point of view again,
Please, of course.
From my experience.
The love guru.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Now, you understanding, first of all, is how I communicate to you my needs. Do I even communicate to you my needs or not? Sometimes we expect that person to know us because we've been together for some time. You should know me, but that doesn't mean the person will know you, because you have your own goal, I have my own goal. You have your own preferences, I have my own preferences. But we expect the other person to change for us. So when you say, why don't you understand me? It's sometimes also I've not communicated to you actually very clearly. Or the other person on the other side is also possible. The other person on the other side also is thinking about why I don't understand him or her, right? So this misalignment of expectations and not communicated to each other ends up you cannot understand each other. I'll give you a simple example. When I newly got married to my wife, see, my personality is such where I think big picture first. She does not think big picture first. She goes to the micro first. So I always say, even until today, 23 years we're married. I know her for 7 years before that. 30 years I know her. I will always tell her, my darling, I need to know the title of the movie before you give me the micro without any subtitles. So you would think after 30 years you would know. But no lah. But those days, the earlier version of Suresh will get angry. The earlier version of Suresh, tone will change. But today, the Suresh is different. So I have learned to accept that that's how she's built. She also has learned to accept that's how he is built. So our expectations of each other has changed. Acceptance has come in. You see what I'm saying? So expectations, what can change, what cannot change must be clear. So I have accepted her as how she is built. She has accepted me how I'm built. That doesn't mean everything is fine and dandy. Yeah, we have arguments, we have complaints. Plus, we work together in the same business. So there are a lot of things that can cause conflict. But because we understand how each other works, we accept the imperfections, it becomes easier to communicate. That's the difference.
No, interesting. And just a bit of a segue here because you said just now that you work with your wife.
Yeah.
So in my earlier career experience, I remember meeting a lot of successful entrepreneurs, right? Who have their wives in their organization.
Okay.
Right? For a man, unfortunately, I've not met any woman who had the husband in the organization while she's leading the charge. Like maybe I'm sure there is.
There are, of course,
I'm sure they are. But in my
There are.
personal experience, so like when you are an entrepreneur, especially when you're starting out, is it having your wife in the organization, would it help your marriage survive?
I think so. Definitely. I mean, for me,
But,
it's.
but then, does it change that entire dynamic now? Because now you're. So how does it change the dynamic? Let's hear this.
Okay.
Busa.
After I give you the answer, I have to make sure I remember I'm going back to my house.
Okay.
And when she, but okay, so this is how it is. When I decided to ask you to join me, which is a year after I started, right? And the first month was a very interesting month.
Okay.
Because I was working alone, a one-man show. So first time I'm at the end of that month, I'm writing a check to my first employee, so to speak, right? And I never did that before in my life.
Okay.
So
How
when
old were you at this time?
I was 30.
Okay.
So I gave the check, but she was already working for us for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks, I mean, how much can you do, right? And I'm paying her a salary more than her previous company, right? I'm not simply taking advantage of she being my wife. So I made a mistake. I asked her this question: never ask. Listen, everybody who's doing business with your wife or your family, never ask this question. Okay, so I asked this question anyway. So I asked her this. I said, actually, right, I'm signing your check right now, your salary. She said, okay. Actually, what did you do?
Oh, brother. Really?
Straight away the mood changed. She remember, yes.
Man,
What
you got balls. Lah.
I said, what did you do in the last? You mean I didn't do anything? You mean what? I'm not doing anything. I'm just here. You don't want to pay me, don't pay me. I'm like, okay. So I say, okay, wrong turn. So, but that's a lesson.
Yeah.
And then we had to be very clear on my role and her role. So we actually did this. I sat down with her. I said, okay, come and talk to me. No, I'm not talking to you. So now we are still in the husband-wife mode. But when you're in business, you have to be very clear, this is not husband and wife mode, even though you're husband and wife. Now, the good thing about working with your spouse is the trust is 100%. Both have very clear interest in the company for us, not for me or for her, for us. So that you cannot buy. That kind of loyalty you cannot buy.
Yeah.
Right? And she has my back, I have her back. But when you're working together, you have to be very clear what's my role, what's her role. So I told her, okay, come, take a piece of paper and write down all your expectations of me as the boss. You are not my boss. That's what I got. I said, no, in the company, I'm the owner, right? I started the business, I'm the boss. No, you're my husband. You're not my boss. I said, okay. So I can see the issue. So this was, for me, interesting. That was the first month. I said, no, okay, but let's talk. Okay, we are partners in life. We are partners in the business. Okay, so not boss. Okay, fine. So write down all the things you expect from me in the business, as the owner of the company. And then I will write down what I also expect of you. And then we exchanged papers. And she looked at about all those things. Most of those things she agreed with. And most of the things she wrote about me, I agreed with. And there were some small differences that we talked about it. And then we became very clear. That was the only major argument we ever had. Apart from that, it's always about dates or fees and all that, which is normal issues. But about our role in the company, that was the only major issue. After that, it never came out. She knows where she stands. I know where I stand. When it comes to decision making, she knows at the end of the day, because he started the business, he has the final say, because he will not think about anything that will put the business in jeopardy. Same in the family. Husband and wife, when we argue, let's say for my daughter, we will both want the best for my daughter, correct? So, but there will be a time where we both have to agree. And we both have to agree also, even if we disagree with either one person, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's her, that will have to give it. So I also give it. She will tell you, probably I give in quite a bit also. But she also gives in. So that's what keeps the relationship going. Because we communicate about issues, we clarify expectations, and then it happens.
All right. So how can, in what you talked about arguments, right? How can couples improve communication without arguments escalating?
Talk about it quickly. Don't keep it don't stay silent for too long. You see, when let's say you argue with that person, you keep quiet about it, you don't talk about it, you allow or you give permission to the other person to keep on playing with the wrong assumptions. Whatever previous experience, whatever doubts and all, you keep on playing because they have no other source of information to rectify or correct their current assumptions. So the longer you wait before you talk about it, and if you go and talk to other people which are not even in the picture who sympathize with you, they will tell you all the things to agree with you. Then that will solidify your wrong assumption in the first place. So you're putting your own marriage in jeopardy by not talking to the actual person quickly enough.
Okay.
But it takes some time because different personalities. So that's where the issue comes also. One person is the expressive one, the extroverted type. One person is the introverted type, silent movie, no subtitles, Zen forever. You don't know what's going on in his head or her head. And then what happens? One and the other person is pushed, talk to me. That's one, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So so that becomes the issue. If both understand, we have to talk about it quickly. The quicker we talk about it, the stronger we become. Conflict equals growth.
One of the best books I've read, in fact, I would say it's the best book I've read about relationships.
Is it?
Is When Mars and Venus Collide.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's written by a doctor. I can't remember the name right now. It was very famous. That was book number 2. Book number 1 was Men Are From
Mars, Women Are From Venus. John
right?
Gray, eh?
Yeah, John Gray, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the second book. I've not read the first book anyway. So one of the things when I took away from reading that book, it was something you just mentioned, like how when somebody is talking to you and then you don't want to talk, right? Because you are sort of recharging or something.
Correct.
And all the things when you read that book, you will laugh at yourself. Because it's like, oh my God, this is happening. And my takeaway, one of it was that relationship problems happen because men and women don't understand how each other works.
Right.
On a chemical level also we don't understand.
Yes.
Like women respond to, he was talking about like how women respond to certain gifts in a different way than
Yes,
men.
of course.
For example, if you give a man a gift, he scores it at 100. So that's why men after that say, no, don't buy for me, it's okay, you did this and all. Women know, every gift, no matter the value, is 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so those kind of things, right?
Okay,
So that's basically what you're saying, right? Men and women don't understand how each other operates. We have different brains.
We are made very differently. If you talk about how we process information is very different. And also because we have got a lot of we have quite a few friends, right? And some of our friends have gone into a situation where they were also contemplating divorce. And they did not know who to talk to. So you talk to the people closest to you. So my wife spoke to the wife and I spoke to the husband. And we got to understand the dynamics. A lot of times what we observe is that the personalities are opposite. So the husband is a different type, the wife is a different type. So both, because they are in their own thinking style, they expect the other person to immediately accommodate, immediately align, immediately follow. But that person's operating system is totally different. It's not just about male and female. You can even have a woman who is thinking like a man. No? So you also have that, there's a portion of community where a man can be more empathetic, a woman can be a bit more direct. So the point is, they are just different personalities. Getting to understand how do I communicate, live, work with you. So that's the same thing. That happens in the real world also. If your bosses and all that. So gender can be an issue. But your mental function also is different. So women, I always tell people, men, we have rooms in our mind, You got the room for the mother, for the mother-in-law, for the daughter, for the school, for the work, for the holiday. We've got rooms. They don't have rooms, Theirs is cloud system. You just had an argument today. And she remembers last year during Raya, Deepavali, Chinese New Year, similar thing happened. You are thinking, how did that come from? Where did that come? I'm just talking about today. No. Same thing happened 2 years ago, remember? Like, where the brain has gone nuts trying to find which file, in which folder. But they have it on the spot now.
But interestingly, that doesn't work for them. When it's them, they forget.
But that's how it works. And the guy gets a bit, pressured and all that. So it's about understanding the other person. Once you understand, not only understanding, after you understand, you have to accept.
Accept means?
Accept means that, okay, that's how she's built, that's how he's built. You look at him, see, you fell in love with this person for many reasons. Now, after you fall in love with him because of his imperfections, you're trying to repair those imperfections after you get married. So what's the point? Because you fell in love with those imperfections. Now it's about how do you live with those imperfections. When you got to know him, you still live in different houses. Then when people start to move in, some people move in, right? Then you get a taste of, oh, real life, that's how it is. Right? Then when you actually get married, then the family also gets a bit more involved. Then it's a whole different ballgame. So learning to deal with each other in different scenarios, different environments, different stresses, different factors, that is what strengthens you, in fact. So you must accept this is how he is. He's got some bad habits. I knew that earlier. There are certain things you can change, but there are certain things you cannot. So before you get into the relationship, you must be very clear.
Okay. So now let's go to another segment, trust and loyalty.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, this is
Yes.
Suresh's favorite topic.
Yes.
Okay.
Loyalty, baby.
Loyalty, yeah. So another thing that is constantly searched online is questions about trust and cheating.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
So yes, continue.
not good. I mean, it's a bad thing.
Trust and cheating are total opposite. Okay,
Yeah,
but anyway,
okay.
yes.
So why is trust so fragile today?
Why is trust? There are different levels. Okay, so you're talking about the currency of every relationship is trust. So trust is trust. The problem is the person, either the male or the female, is not giving you 100% of trust. So you see, you are a friend, I trust you so much. You're a good friend, I trust you a bit more. If you're my spouse, the trust should be 100%. So the trust is not 100% because somewhere at the back of the head, there is a bit of doubt. Either because of previous experiences, somebody who has cheated me in the past, or somebody has lied to me in the past. So I am not sure if this person is the same. And I asked this question in my class actually. How much do you trust your spouse? Men in general will tell me 100%. And they will tell you, same, right? It's like, it's a no-brainer. But I don't get that kind of answer from women. I will tell you. And that's the fact. I've done this multiple times over 20 years. And I will ask them, give me a percentage. They will tell me 80. 80%. This is your spouse, the father of your children. Cannot, Suresh, cannot. You cannot trust a man 100%. Some will come as close as 95. Yeah, because there is always some, possibility. So you have that in your mind. Because that's just, maybe there's too many cheating stories that I've heard about. They know of people where the husband has been, disloyal or, has some infidelity and all that stuff, has had an affair. And you see it more or pronounced amongst men than women, right? Of course, there are women who have affairs.
Yeah.
But if you compare both, it seems to be an easier thing for men to do, right? And because of that, they are like, okay, no. You have to have that. Suresh, you cannot trust 100%. My wife, different. She trusts me 100%, I think 110. Sometimes I get worried also. Why you trust me so much? So because she's like, once you're in a relationship, 100% or nothing. So I also wrote a post on LinkedIn once. I said, in relationships, if you go into a spouse relationship, you start with 100%.
Okay.
You don't grow it to 100%. You give 100% and you expect 100%. You stop giving 100% if there is a reason.
Okay.
That means they have done something to now break your trust. Then there's a different story. You cannot go into a relationship not giving 100%. That is why trust becomes fragile. Because you don't go in, you still have this doubt in your mind. You might think he trusts you 100%, but you also must trust him 100%.
Okay, but again, you talked about that trust not being 100% because of something that happened in someone's past. But there are instances, I met people where that trust is because they sort of sense something about the current partner, but it's not confirmed.
Okay, then confirm it. If you want to have doubt, go and clarify the doubt. Find out for sure. Don't base your behavior on assumption. You start to behave doubtful, that person will sense it. You will have arguments a bit more. You become a bit more controlling. You become irritable very fast. You become very suspicious. Who wants to live with somebody who is constantly suspicious? Nobody wants to live. So you are not giving 100%. If you feel there is an issue, clarify, go and find out. So my wife will joke with me. She'll say, when we got together and we talked about marriage and all that, so we said, in our relationship, there is not going to be any talk on divorce. Divorce is not a topic at all. And there is whatever fight, however bad the fight can be, divorce not a topic, only unless one of us has an affair.
Oh.
If one of us has had my wife, if one of us has had an affair and the other person finds out, without
That's the key thing.
You have an affair, nobody knows. Good for you, you enjoy life.
Yeah.
But if you find out, I find out or you find out, and it's confirmed, not assumption, it must be confirmed, then there is no U-turn. There is no, I'm sorry, I was drunk, I was tired, we haven't been together for a long time, distance and all, I was lonely. No excuse can undo because that trust is gone. So in our brain, it's like, I travel a lot. It's if I really want to have, do whatever it is, it's very easy for me. And she has no clue. But I mean, why? What's the point? So this is my life partner, right? So
because you would know.
yes, I would know. You're right.
That's
Because
the
I
point.
would know. Will I be able to live with myself? And a lot of people are able to live with themselves.
Yeah.
Right? You can have one in each country. Yeah, but no.
I respect guys. I know men like that who have multiple partners in multiple countries. Like, man, I salute you. How do you keep all of that in? For me now at this age, you ask me to hide and text some girl, I'll go to hell. That's too much of effort. Yeah.
So, but I mean, you're cheating your kids, you're cheating your wife,
that's the part,
and you're cheating yourself.
Yeah, that's the part.
So no point. So for us, it's very clear. And for her, and that's the kind of woman I want. A woman who 100% trusts me, and I must not give her a reason not to trust me.
Okay, so let's go back on that for a bit, right?
Okay.
Because again, as you mentioned something very important there, you said women assume that men will cheat. And I think the world thinks so. The world thinks that men are more prone to cheating than women. I just think women are better at hiding it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but anyway, that's something funny, it's a joke anyway. But here's the thing: what would you? I'm sure you've been tempted. Let's be honest.
Tempted?
Of course, we're all men. We're all humans, right?
Tempted, or people have tried to tempt me? Which one?
No, of course you've seen a woman who's attractive,
Okay.
and there are moments. We are human,
Okay.
right? So how does a man who is married, and we're only human, right? How do you stop yourself? How do you arrest your?
I don't get tempted, my friend.
That's a lie.
I don't know what's
In the
going
words
on.
of Al Pacino, the day we stop looking is the day we die.
No. I mean, I'm not blind. So there are many attractive human beings on earth,
Yeah.
but there is no, because for me, it's not the physical connection, so it's all about the
Just admiring the car, but you don't want to drive it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yes, okay, you say that way. So there's no tempting, in fact.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the secret to it, I think the way to approach it, right, is to just be honest and treat it as what it is. It's something frivolous. Like, for example, like just yesterday, not yesterday, on Sunday, Hashi and I were at an event, and this girl comes up to me and all that, start talking, and I couldn't wait to just gloat to my wife. Say, I'm 41, but I still got it, man. I still got it, yeah. My wife just ignored me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, all those girls can just imagine because she has you already. So my wife said, she's like, they can dream. She is like, for me, my wife is, she's, I don't know how do I even describe her. She is my universe, and I think I am hers. I think,
I doubt it, but okay. Go.
Okay. And I always tell her, I say, I'm sure you were my wife in my past life.
Brother,
I go to that level.
This is like Mohammedan type movie.
Seriously, bro, I'm telling you. And I told her, I want you to be my wife in the next life. So the next life, what she said, I think I don't know.
I don't know about that. Let's calm down.
But this
That's
life,
too much of a commitment.
100%. So that's how. So I'm very lucky, honestly. And I can see why our relationship works, and she will tell you also. I asked her to come today, but she said don't lie. She's not feeling well. So, but because we make sure, no matter what the disagreement, we talk about it, and we don't wait too long to talk about it. And nowhere have I given her a reason to not trust, and nowhere she has given me a reason not to trust.
Yeah, I think if you're very clear with your vision or what you want to achieve, and you tell people understand.
Correct.
Thing. Okay, so let's go to this. Can trust? Because we talked about just now a question before we deviated to a bit of naughty areas.
Okay.
We talk about the fragility of trust, right?
Okay.
So, but can trust truly be rebuilt after a sort of betrayal, like maybe cheating or something?
Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Very, very. I would say, I can confidently say, if the trust before the betrayal was 100%, you will not get back 100%. You might get maybe somewhere 90, 95.
Is that healthy though? If you are the person who is now trying to rebuild your trust towards your partner and not give full trust again, is that healthy to be in that relationship again?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's. It's not because you cannot trust. You're going to be always on guard. In fact, after the betrayal, it's going to go very low. Some people, it's totally zero. That means I will walk away from this relationship. But a lot of people don't walk away because they are maybe not independent enough, or the life that they have, they don't want to let it go. Or it can be because of ego, it can be because of status, society, community, all that. So they silently allow that to happen. It can be a man or a woman, you know. And so they are roommates, no more husband and wife. Sometimes they even go into separate rooms. Even if they're on the same room, in the same bed, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. But they have come to terms and they accept it. And a lot of times it's because if there's children involved, for the sake of the kids. And the moment the kids have grown and they're independent, the wife says, I'm going. Or the husband says, I'm going.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's for the sake of the family, not so much about them. You see, because they know what a divorce can do to the children. So that becomes the issue. So not easy, bro. Not easy, because that is I think one of the highest betrayals a person can go to.
How important is it for a couple to sleep together on the same bed? Not sex, but sleep together on the same bed. Because I hear it a lot, right? Because when I had my second child, I remember because
Yeah.
my eldest daughter sleeps like me, legs everywhere, hands everywhere. So I had to move to another. Because then when we had our third child, I sleep with her first,
Right.
and all that. And then my friend told me, bro, you can't do that because they've heard that if couples don't sleep together, things happen. But
I mean, you have a reason, what? You're not doing it because of some other reason. That's very fine and understandable. But of course, when they grow up and they're going to have their own rooms, then you're going to sleep together on the same bed. After that, you still don't want to sleep on the same bed. That's a different story.
something wrong with it. Right?
Yeah, but if you're sleeping on separate beds, sometimes you're sleeping in separate rooms because of snoring, because of you're doing adventures on the bed with your legs and your heads and all that stuff. So that's maybe a different issue. That will be healthier for you to sleep on separate beds, because if not, both cannot get sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a different story. But if you're not sleeping together because you just don't want to be together, that's a problem.
Okay. The song, Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who sang that,
I forgot. It's an 80s
Bruce
song.
Springsteen, no.
No, it's a female. I forgot the title song. Okay.
Okay.
Now, can love survive when emotional intimacy fades?
Oh. Emotional intimacy, not
Okay,
physical
fine.
intimacy.
Both.
Okay. Okay.
You seem disappointed that I went
Yes.
the other route.
No, so emotional intimacy, I'm thinking, okay, love, the song Love Is Not Enough, very good. It's very true. Love is not enough. There's so many other things that come into, I can love to be with you, but the trust is important, respect is important, understanding is important, all that. So your question is, can love survive?
Yes, without emotional intimacy.
Intimacy lah.
Yeah. Okay, intimacy
Excuse
lah.
me,
Okay lah,
emotional
intimacy.
Because there are
Yeah.
many ways to be intimate.
Okay.
Holding hands, for some people, is very intimate already. So if you're talking about husband and wife intimacy, my point of view again, extremely important. In fact, I grew up in a family where this topic was talked about even with my parents as we grew up. Because for them, they felt better for us to hear from them than to hear from people who are not qualified, right? And my mother even told me, until my father became ill, they would still be intimate with each other. So your mom telling you that is a bit weird lah. But that's how open we are in the family, And for me, it is very important. It is extremely important for me. Some men who I know personally also can go on not being intimate with their partner for months and sometimes for years.
My goodness.
And then, as I told you, they are best friends. They are five best friends.
Yeah.
Help them release whatever they want to
Whatever
release.
pressures.
Yes, you're right. But it affects the relationship. Now, women who are in those type of relationships have told me, Suresh, that is not the most important thing. I agree. It is not the most important thing. But it is a very important thing.
Yes, it is.
And between the husband and the wife, the person who is the least sexually, motivated, is the one that controls the intimacy. Because I have no mood. It can be the man, it can be the woman. So the one who is actually the one who has the lower sex drive is the one that controls the intimacy in the family. And the other one does not want to be seen as aggressive, and after some time you don't want to beg anymore. It's like fine now, And a lot of times that can also lead to separation or divorce or infidelity. I'm not going to blame the male or female because both can be responsible. But intimacy is extremely important because for some people that is the way they express love or they receive love. It's not the only way. There are many ways, but that is also part of it. You might not do it as frequently as when you just got married, but it is important. Now, of course, as you grow older and all that stuff, maybe biologically or so, it might not really be the viable thing to do, but you still are together, you hug, you do all the other things. You're intimate in other ways. But intimacy is important.
Should that be discussed before you marry someone, as to gauge or to sort of, again, expectations, right? This is what I expect, and if
I mean,
because some people, some women, they or some men may prefer, as you say, not to be intimate as frequent as maybe the partner would like.
okay.
So isn't this a very important thing to actually have a conversation about?
But it's difficult to have that. I don't know. My point of view, we never really had that conversation because for us it's probably go with the flow in that department. But how would you even gauge what is frequent, not frequent? Very, very difficult. And you can have a lot of challenges when you just got married.
Okay.
You can be the wife or the husband. You're either it's moving to a different house, moving to a different location, suddenly immediately becoming pregnant with a kid. Anything can happen that will affect that entire
of
thing,
course.
right? So for me, should may not be the right word, but if it starts to cause an effect or an issue with either one, you must talk about it. If one is feeling that it's not enough, one is feeling it's not meaningful anymore, you must talk about it. You must talk about it. Yeah.
There was one, you mentioned something just now, that maybe intimacy is a way some people communicate their love. So in other words, it's their love language. Huh?
Yeah, correct.
Right? There was one beautiful movie that I saw, I think it's called Before You Go, where this line, this quote was there. It says, "Don't let the people you love determine how you love.
Oh yes, very nice. Don't let the people you love
Determine how you love."
Okay. So meaning what?
Meaning like you have to understand everybody has their own love language.
Yes,
huh?
yes, that's true.
And
that's
I'm not just talking about intimacy, like the way I express my love is different. And
Yes.
that's, I guess, another thing to sort of respect and appreciate.
There's a book also, The 5 Love Languages.
Oh,
Yeah. There's 5 ways of saying sorry, and then there's 5 love languages.
what are the 5 ways of saying sorry?
Oh, first way is I'm sorry.
That's
And for a lot of people, it's enough. For me, it's not. So second way is I'm sorry because. So you know why you're sorry. Okay? The third one is acts of service. That means I don't even say sorry. I give you something, a chocolate, rose, buy something for you, gift.
Okay,
Gifting.
okay.
The fourth one is I'm sorry because and I won't do it again.
Which is your favorite?
No, that's my mother's one. My mother's one.
The parents
Okay,
is
number
it.
4. The fifth one is please forgive me. So I give you a story. There was this couple I was talking to, and the husband had I think, did he cheat or I think he was seen with another woman,
Okay,
and the wife felt that they were a bit too close.
okay. That happens.
And so we were sitting around and chatting and all that. So because you're friends, right? And he told me, he says, Suresh, I don't know what to do with her. She just cannot trust me. I told her nothing happened and all that. I even gave her, but he was, I think she saw him maybe putting his hand on the shoulder or something like that.
Okay.
So he felt it's uncalled for. But for him, that girl was maybe just like a colleague or whatever it is. Anyway, so the wife and this person who he was with is a colleague and used to message at night and that kind of stuff. But work sometimes other things, and they'll laugh and all that stuff. So she started to get jealous. So he's telling her, I'm sorry, I did not mean it, and all that, blah, 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 blah. And Suresh, I've given her my passwords. I've given her my phone passwords, my email password, everything I've given her. I've told her sorry multiple times. But she still just keeps on bringing it up again and again. So I asked her, what's going on? Hasn't he told you I'm sorry? She says, yeah, but I don't feel it. So I said, okay, cool. What would he need to do to make you feel it? I asked her, tell him right now, because he also wants to know. And then she said, I want him to tell me, please forgive me. I said, okay, tell her. He couldn't tell. For him, the word forgive was too huge. I did not commit a crime. It's just an incident. I told you my intention, but why is it so difficult? Why are you making a big deal? She said, you see, he doesn't mean it. He cannot say, please forgive me. I said, just tell her. But he couldn't. You see? So very interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. So for him, it's not such a big deal that you have to make it such a big deal. For her, it's a big deal for me. So you don't tell me what should be or not be a big deal for me. For her, it's a big deal. Because I don't know what else has happened.
Okay, so you've spoken, definitely you've spoken to a lot of couples and all that, right? So recently, not
But
recently.
that's not my business, huh?
Of course, that's not. He's a corporate trainer, a coach, international speaker.
Yes.
On the side, he does
Okay.
classes on relationships. Anyway,
Right.
so I think about a few years ago, there was this clip on TikTok that just went viral.
Okay,
Okay.
which is?
So it's a clip of this wife as the husband enters the house, and then she yells at him. I'm of course I can't remember the exact words she
Right,
said.
right.
She said, "She's not younger than me. She's not prettier than me. She's not blah blah."
Okay, I remember.
So
I remember.
right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
why can't it just be me? And then his answer was that she's nicer to me. She doesn't tell me to shut up or stuff. I feel valued, right?
true.
Basically, what he's saying is he feels respected
Yes,
with her, right?
correct.
In those kind of situations, does it justify the cheating?
No, nothing justifies cheating.
But shouldn't the woman in this case or the man treating right?
Yeah.
If you're bad to your partner and the partner finds comfort somewhere else,
Yeah.
shouldn't you take responsibility?
No.
as well?
Nothing on planet Earth or any other planet for that matter justifies cheating. Nothing. Nothing, brother. I'll tell you now. Nothing.
Okay, so what should a person do in that case?
He's out with her.
Okay.
That's his way out. He has failed to bring himself to be able to have a meaningful conversation with the woman who he has married. So that is his failure on his part. Now, the wife's failure on her part, she might not even have a clue in her
Oh,
brain.
come on, Suresh. You're
No.
being too nice to the woman
No,
now.
no, it's true. I mean, would she want him to have an affair? No.
But she
Now.
knows that if you're mean to someone, they will
But she
eventually...
doesn't feel she's mean because he takes it. He keeps on taking it and taking it and taking it. And he keeps on saying, okay, okay, okay. But he goes and finds comfort somewhere else. He's not able to have that meaningful conversation with his wife. It can be the other way around also. The woman might be taking it and taking it and taking it, and somebody in the office gives her a listening ear, and she now goes with that guy. So you cannot tell it's not that the other person
But
should
both
be...
parties are wrong, right? I mean,
Both are wrong, but that doesn't justify. The man should not go out there and find something else. When you have a woman here who you have married, you love, but right now you're having this conflict, talk about it. You must talk about it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you split, then you do what you want.
oh, so your thing is you must split first, then...
Yeah,
do-
yeah. You're not gonna. I mean, it's till death do us part. All rubbish, lah. Correct. All this nonsense. I cannot imagine when people say till death do us part and then prenuptial agreement. What on? Prenuptial agreement. That means you go into a relationship with a prenuptial agreement. Means you don't even trust them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Rubbish. So that's why the highest population of which area in the world that has the highest population of divorces is Europe. Europe, and Luxembourg. Out of 10 couples that get married, within 10 years, 8 will get divorced.
Wow.
That's why. So I have clients who say we don't even get married, Suresh. It's too much work. It's because it's not going to last. The chances of it not lasting is so high. Why go through all that trouble? And after that, half your wealth you lose. So the guys will say that. For the ladies, betrayed. Why would I want to go through that? Trauma for myself. So no, not interested. So they are very happy and comfortable being partners. You see? But Americans still they have this left to a path, bend the knee and give all that. They still have that nostalgia. Asia is very different. That's why a lot of Europeans actually have got no issues looking for Asian couples, Asian spouses. Whether it's a Caucasian woman or whether it's a Caucasian man looking for Asian partners. They have no issues. And those last longer because the mindset is a bit different. They're just different. Culture is different. Our culture is different. We see the roles are different. It's not whether you are better than me. We see it as different roles. But communication cannot stop.
But is it a question of why? Okay, now let's just deviate to a bit to talking about divorce, right? Is it a question of, like you mentioned, culture, right? Say, for example, in our case, the Asian culture or the Malaysian culture, right? Is not incoherent with modern day gender roles. So, for instance, like we talked about how women last time were dependent on the man, so they were the homemakers and they made sure, which is very important. I think removing the woman from the household has caused a lot of problems in our society. But anyway, that's a different episode.
Okay.
But the idea is that now maybe the expectation of a man on a woman cannot gel with the way the woman is. And that creates conflict. And also vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, if the man is still having old school thinking, then he has to change. Yeah, because he has to also play an active role at home. He cannot just do his thing, and the woman is also working, also supporting him financially, and then she has to also manage all the other things. Oh, that's not fair. So if that becomes an issue, that also has to be talked about between the husband and the wife. So we have to be very clear with our rules. So my dad and mom, I saw as an example, they help each other out. So I grew up in that environment. So my wife and I also, we have a maid because of my dad who was bedridden before. But even when we did not have a maid, we would share the chores at home.
Of course.
You see, so the man needs to understand that. Now the woman also needs to. So the woman in that aspect needs to communicate with her man if she feels that she needs his help, and not just thinking, oh, that's my role. No, that's my role maybe 20, 30 years ago, last generation. Yeah. But right now, if you are also pulling the weight of the family, then he needs to understand that you are also tired.
Okay. So before we go to the next segment, again, you talked about, just now briefly, you touched on jealousy, right?
Jealousy. Okay, I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you talked about, like, this example where the wife was jealous
Yeah.
of the
Okay.
man, right?
All right.
So how can someone distinguish between healthy concern versus unhealthy jealousy? How do you distinguish between? Or is there a distinction between the two?
I mean, if you're some people have this, what shall I say? Insecurity, right? So if that insecurity has been already debunked, and you still are on and on with it, that now becomes unhealthy, because now it's beginning to jeopardize your healthy relationship, right? Now, it's jealousy can also be a sign of love. Some people say, like you're getting your spouse is getting so much attention, and they are now suddenly swept off that stage of attention where suddenly they forget about you. So there can be some jealousy in terms of attention, but if it's a healthy relationship, my experience, there is no real need for jealousy, in fact, because one person's limelight is also our limelight. Unless you feel that you are being separated on purpose, then there's a concern. It becomes a concern. But if it's not that way, then it's perfectly fine. I mean, if you're, like in my case, I'm outside, I have the limelight a lot. And I get a lot of limelight, but I also transfer some of that to my wife, even though she doesn't want. You see? And I always include her. Not because I'm afraid she might think anything. For her, it's don't have to include me also. But because I feel grateful, I include her. If the person is jealous, it's because they feel insecure. If I feel my spouse is jealous, I need to go and talk to her, because I don't want her to be jealous. She does have no reason to be jealous.
Yeah.
So for the man and the woman, they need to let the other person know there's no reason for you to be jealous. The jealousy comes because, again, trust is not 100%. That's a challenge.
So let's go to our next segment. Love compatibility and emotional distance. Okay.
Love compatibility. Okay. Not partner compatibility. Love compatibility.
Love compatibility. Those are separate words. Love, compatibility, and emotional.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So among the most searched question
okay.
is, how do I know if someone truly loves me? Over to you, Suresh.
How do you know? You never really know. How do I really know the person truly loves me? It takes time, It's not automatic. It takes time. If I were to refer back to my own experience, how do I really know that this person truly loves me is perhaps a few things to look at. One is our values aligned or not. One of the examples was, I told my wife, when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, once we get married, we will live together with my parents.
Okay.
Are you okay with that? So she said, okay. I said, don't tell me now okay to get into a relationship and then later say not okay. She said no. And then she explained to me why. She said, because I also have a brother. I would like it when he gets married, he will be able to take care of my mom in his house. So I understand your role as a brother, as a son. I also have a brother of my own. So I felt that, okay, so alignment in terms of values. So that was one very important thing for me. The next thing was in terms of our role, husband and wife. So we talked about all those kind of things. And so that's why love alone is not enough. Both can adore each other, whether it's physically or emotionally, but are you willing to make those tough decisions together? That's when I really see alignment was very strong. So I know that this person is really willing to work hard for the relationship. For me, that working hard for the relationship is the sign where this is the right person. Truly love, love is very different for different people.
Okay.
So for me, very difficult to answer that way. But whether this person is the right person for me, important. And then when problems happen, that is the true test of your love, whether it's a disagreement with family members, with each other, how you deal with it. And because we agree there's no talk about divorce, there is no other way but to talk about it. And so when you talk about it, resolving it, and then growing with it, and then talking about how do we manage this problem when it happens again. Because we'll tell each other, I'll tell her, I know we're going to argue again. She says, yes, 100% confirm. But when this same argument or similar argument comes out, how are we going to manage it differently? We have those conversations.
No, but so that goes back to our earlier question, where I asked you about modern expectations of a relationship. Sometimes could it be that couples do not accept that arguments are just part and parcel of a relationship?
They should accept that arguments are part and parcel of relationship because we are all different people. So accepting that we are different people and trying to understand the other person's point of view is extremely important. And getting the other person to hear you out and you also being heard is very important. So that must happen. So there'll be some couples who I've observed myself. One person does the talking, the other person does the listening, and it's a win-lose. It's a win-lose relationship. Win-lose or lose-win equals lose-lose. It's like that. If I'm the one constantly getting my way and you're the one giving in, you will get tired.
I've seen it.
Yeah, and if I'm the one constantly giving in and you are winning all the time, I also will get tired. So either way, if you're winning all the time or I'm winning all the time, this cannot go on. Somebody is going to pay the price.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I remember there's one, I once hosted an event and I saw this wife of this man and he's a known philanderer.
Oh.
And she's accepting it. Oh my God. You see, when I saw her, I said, wow, she's become a shell of herself.
Yeah, you see?
It consumes you.
Correct.
So it's very terrible, very sad. Okay, so what are the signs of emotional disconnection in a relationship?
Well, you stop talking.
Only that?
No, that's the first. That is a major sign.
But along the way, small
along
time.
the way, you'll have small arguments. Arguments which don't even need to become an argument. And it's happening frequently. Then emotional detached already, right? So that's happening. No mood to be intimate with each other. What is this? Sometimes you also had some trying to upmanship the other one, that or even finding fault with the other one in public. These are all signs you will see. That means you don't even now respect that person. You can joke is a different story, but you don't. I mean, you do things that makes the other person look lower than you or pointing out all the mistakes. Sometimes you're doing this joke, the other person might take it 1-2 times. After some time, it becomes like, you really think I'm stupid? You really think I don't care? You really think I can't think? You tell the whole world as if it's like a very normal thing. So then if that person says that, then you get the idea. But talking about it is very important if you feel that way. So small arguments, frequent arguments, not wanting to be each other, ridiculing each other, not caring about how the other person perceives it, don't want to talk about difficult conversations, then you will get after that, not wanting to be on the same bed, not wanting to be in the same room. Those will be all the later scenarios. Yeah.
Now, one of the things, questions, of course, was what causes couples to grow apart, right? But before we go into that, let's talk about marriage a bit, right? Married couples, right? What's the role that in-laws play in ensuring a healthy relationship?
Very good. So all the in-laws listening,
Stay
your
out.
role is try not to become outlaws. Okay? Outlaws means... Yeah, I'm telling you. Some in-laws are naturally talented to become outlaws. Poke here, poke there, forever. And I'm not just talking about the parent-in-laws. It can be the siblings.
Oh, yeah.
Siblings also solid. No, they take full power, full participation in supporting the parents. You see? But there will be some siblings who, of course, support the brother or the sister who is married. No? But yeah, the idea here is in-laws must understand that they are in-laws. Okay? The challenge happens when you are in the same house. But right now in the modern marriage, especially in Malaysia, I don't meet many. I don't meet many people. Even in my class, I'll ask them, how many of you are living in the same house with your in-laws or your parents? Very few. Very few. And I think the Gen Ys and the Gen Zs, I think would probably be zero. And in fact, a lot of parents prefer it that way because they've gone through certain things with their in-laws or their parents that they don't want their kids to go through.
Yeah.
So I think that issue will become less less predominant, simply because you're not in the same house. But if you were in the same house, and those who are listening, remember I did a TikTok video on daughter-in-laws, and I did on taking care of parents, right? A lot of comments on it's not easy. And sometimes in-laws with good intentions forget that their values can be different from the children's values. And in-laws need to be able to understand that my job is to advise or suggest, but I have no control over these people's life because they are their own life. In fact, everybody must understand this. The person who will be living with you the longest is your spouse, not your parents, not your children. So if you really want to build a solid relationship, this spouse, which is from a different family, different soul coming together, this is two bodies, one soul. No? So parents, because they also went through that. So respecting that, let them make their mistakes. Let them fight with each other. We are here for you to support you. That's your role as in-laws. But sometimes in-laws, what they do is, parents being parents, right? They want to make sure it works. Sometimes they try too hard. And then there is this benefit of doubt. There is doubt. There is why would she do this? Why would he do that? That means try to separate you from the family. All these things. If the husband and wife are strong enough, they will be able to manage all these other things. The son. So I always tell my wife also this because we live in the same house with my parents. I say managing my parents is my responsibility. Managing your parents is your responsibility. I'm not Shahrukh Khan, Dilwale and all that stuff. Go and sit down there, wash dishes, manage your parents also. I will tell her. That's the song we got together on.
I see.
Those the two J they call it. Okay, so that was how we got together. So I told her, I'm not Shahrukh Khan. This is not the movies. Your parents you manage. My parents I manage.
Okay.
Because what's important to me is us. So I take care of my parents. You are also in the same house. We're taking care of my parents lah. But yeah, in-laws, I understand. So I will have to manage. Sometimes I feel my mom may be doing things which I disagree with. I will tell my mom. Not many sons are able to do that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
And if my wife has done something wrong, I will tell her it's wrong. Now I can also be wrong, But I try my best to look at the big picture. Big picture is we all must be happy. I cannot attack you simply because this is my family I grew up with. No. And y'all cannot attack her because she's not from the family. Right? So there was a time where she was, having certain, concerns. And the good thing is she's able to tell me. And when she tells me, I will try to explain to her why this happens in my family this way. And then now I understand. Because we talk about it, immediately I can understand and I can accept. And when things happen in her family, I'm wondering, why is that going on? Then she makes me understand, I accept. So we entertain the in-laws, but we don't let the in-laws interfere into our relationship. And it's not that they want to. They're just looking out for us. Intention is good lah. For some. You will not want your son or daughter's marriage to break, right? Why would you do that?
Course.
So the intention can be good, but the approach can be a problem. But if the husband and wife can talk about it and also manage their own families, because it's going to be difficult for my wife to talk to my mother and explain to her as if it's my sister talking to her. There's a different relationship. It's going to be difficult for me to talk to my mother-in-law as if I'm the son. It's a different dynamic. So we have to do that with our families, and we have to also be very close to ourselves. That's the difference.
Okay. Now, what causes couples to grow apart over time?
My point of view My point of view is when you don't communicate enough, when you don't share expectations, and you don't sharing expectations doesn't mean the person must follow. Sharing your deepest concerns, talking to them, being able to have the tough conversations and then resolving it. That because you just don't do that, silence creates distance creates divorce.
Wow.
So silence creates distance. You can be in the same house but be distant because you don't talk. We're just roommates. We're not family. So when there is distance, I can now do without you. I don't need you. And if we end up talking and we end up fighting and arguing so much and we don't talk about it, we're not resolving the root cause. The root cause can be a financial issue, can be a health issue, can be a family issue, can be any issue. But you don't talk about it, then you create distance. You don't manage that distance, you get divorced. Same with business. You stop talking to your customer finds somebody else. right? You just assume the customer is there for the next order. No. So silence creates distance. Distance creates divorce. The customer finds somebody else. Now you go and find a new customer. Same in business. Relationships, all same dynamics. Whether it's personal life, whether it is professional life, but personal life impact 10 times higher. You can always change customer, change company. How to change wife so easily? How to change husband so easily?
When there's a will, there's a way.
I just met your wife.
Okay, let's talk about social media and modern dating, all right? Because I think when you were dating,
I'm not expert in modern dating, bro. I never did modern dating.
well, the jury is still out on that. Okay?
Oh, is it? Okay, then.
So, has social media made relationships stronger or more stressful?
They've made connecting much easier. That doesn't mean they've made relationships stronger, because a lot of social media connections are superficial, right? These are, if you look at relationships, there are 4 categories I put. So you then, from what I tell you, you tell me where you think social media is. So you've got the ones which are the strongest. We call them the core relationships. These are the people, no matter who you are, no matter what scenario you're in, they will be there for your back. Okay. So normally it's your spouse or family. Normally. Sometimes
Immediate
family can.
Immediate family.
Yeah. Sometimes, not all the time. Now, the second one is called close relationships. These are maybe your best friends, can be a bit maybe of the extended family. These people will not be the first to be there, but they will be there when they need to. The third one is casual. Casual means these are the people on social media. These are the people that you hello, hi, bye, meet once in a while, or you meet them virtually or online. Your life is fantastic, not fantastic, doesn't matter to them. And whatever happens in their life doesn't matter to you. But hello, that's it. The last one is criminal. These are the ones you want to get away with. So social media, I have family members also who have met their spouse on social media. So connecting, yes. But whether you build a strong relationship, on social media, that one is not really. But there are some people who get scammed because they are either lonely and the person on the other side has identified you. So you cannot simply scam anyone.
No, but in this case, I think just to bring it back to social media, I think the question that the problem is, I have ample of choice, and as you know, if you are in the dating game as we once were, at the end of the day, women it's all a numbers game, right? So
Okay.
I guess you have different dating lives.
Yes,
Okay, sorry.
you're right.
Have I divulged too much?
Okay, yes.
No, but because now men and women have the ability to connect with just about anyone they want.
Yes, it's true.
And if you look a certain way, then you'll attract attention.
Yeah.
And then cheating is just a click away.
No, you're right. So if you're talking about cheating before you get married, that means having multiple friends. If you're having multiple relationships and you're saying to one person, I'm exclusive with you, but not being exclusive with the others, that's much easier to do now. So in the past, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Now it just becomes easier. See? So if that person is that type of person, he will do it or she will do it, not the issue. But whether or not the social media makes relationships stronger or not, I don't think so. I don't think it makes relationships stronger. I think it keeps you connected. But getting strong relationships are built on trust and consistent behavior that you see from each other. And that happens when you're together.
Okay.
But I have some people who I also know who date for years on social media. And whatever it is, they make it a point to want to meet each other. Nobody gets married on social media, So you get to know people, you connect, you stay connected, you're consistent, people, and they start to fall in love with each other's minds first. Because, and the way they speak and think. But still, you don't get the confidence until you meet the person. So still, you need that physical connection for you to really build the relationship.
Okay, so earlier on we talked about insecurities. We talked about assuring and all that. So today's world, a woman or a man is accessible to, say, other couples within his or her community.
They're able to say.
To see.
Okay,
to see.
right.
So they can. So one of the biggest drawbacks of social media is the unfortunate ability to compare. Now comparison becomes something that's on steroids.
Yeah.
Right? How does that affect relationships?
Oh, it affects quite a bit. Because, from the man's point of view, it's like, so you can compare many things. You can compare physical. You can compare sense of humor. You can compare the way the person is as a parent.
Yeah.
You can compare finance, So like, look at him, I remember he was only this, and now you see he's so successful. His wife will be so happy, and you send hints to your husband, for example, those kind of things. So yeah, comparing can really affect the confidence of the spouse, either male or female. So not healthy. Not healthy. It's just straightforward lah. So if you compare, it's for you to maybe not compare, but for you to maybe look and get inspired, and then if they can do it, that means we also can do it. But not compare to bring the other person down. Compare to inspire to become like them. Yes, you see how connected they are. I see how they're so fun together. So nice. Now, if say suppose my wife tells me that, I feel, am I not?
In fact, there was one lawyer, very famous divorce lawyer online, who said that it's the couples who are on social media posting about their perfect lives who are in his room.
You see?
Yeah.
So they're projecting a life which is not the
real.
truth.
Because, and there was one more comedian who said, if you are happy, you're not going to stop being happy and take a photo and post it on Instagram. You're just going to be busy being happy.
Yes, you're right. Very true. That's
yeah.
why if you check out my Facebook, I'm hardly on Facebook lah.
Yeah.
Very rare lah, very rare. So I'm more on either TikTok, or now we are trying to get YouTube and Insta and all, right? But no lah, I'm just busy. When I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I want to be with my family. And we are constantly finding ways of how to spend time together, because I'm away. And so that's what gives us pleasure. Not interested lah, who's going here, who's going there. Sometimes I get surprised. Some people say, Suresh, how was your Thailand trip? How do you know lah? So let's say I'll take few pictures only and put. That also I don't take pictures of all my trips. But people are very busy checking other people out lah.
Yes, they are. That's the unfortunate thing. Okay, so what is your viewpoint on dating apps?
I have got no viewpoint. I never did it before. I don't know whether it works or not.
Check your phone.
I can. You want to check? I got no problem. My time, there were no apps lah, bro.
Yeah.
My time, the phone was, you throw at the wall has a hole. That was how big the phones were. So dating apps, I have no idea how they work. A lot of what I know of dating apps is, you can create your own weird profile. Nobody's going to really verify. So it can be quite dangerous also. Perhaps when my daughter is at the age of dating, I will be able to give you the answer lah. But right now, I have no idea. Dating apps, my only concern with dating apps is verifiable, whatever is said is true or not. And you're not going to go out with any random stranger.
Yeah.
Right? So nothing much to say about that.
All right. So let's go to this part, which is fast fire questions. Okay?
Fast fire, what? Like rapid fire.
Rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Keep it short, 1 to 2 words maybe, one sentence maximum. I know this is tough, but let's do it.
Okay. Give it to me, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What is the biggest myth about relationships?
That it's a bed of roses.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
What destroys relationships faster than people realize?
Doubt.
Wow. What is one habit every healthy couple should practice?
Communication. Talk.
All right. What's more important, communication, trust, or respect?
Communication. What's more important? Trust.
Trust, okay. Okay, last one. What's your definition of a successful relationship?
Mutual respect.
All right. So, guys, that was Suresh Dhawan Talks, finishing with a fantastic rapid fire round. I love it. Fast fire round. I love it. So, again, links will be in the description. If you guys want to get in touch with Suresh Dhawan, who is an international speaker and trainer as well, you can just contact him on his social media links that will be in the description. Or, just state your intention in the comment section. We will get in touch with you. So, guys, as always, we have many episodes coming your way. Do check out our TikTok account as well. There are many interesting clips on many various topics: negotiation, leadership, business, as well as now love.
All right, man.
All right. So, guys, please stay tuned. We have interviews coming your way all the time. So, do follow and subscribe to the page. Share your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
All right.